हेलो स्टूडेंट्स, वेलकम बैक टू माय यूट्यूब चैनल। आज हम एक नया चैप्टर स्टार्ट करने वाले हैं, दैट इज़ बिजनेस सर्विसेज। सो इन दिस चैप्टर वी विल अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट इज़ द इम्पोर्टेंस ऑफ सर्विसेज इन वेरियस सेक्टर एंड व्हाट आर द डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ सर्विसेज। तो सर्विसेज सेक्टर क्या इंक्लूड करते हैं? बहुत सारी सर्विसेज इंक्लूड करते हैं, जैसे कि हमारी बैंकिंग, कम्युनिकेशन, ट्रांसपोर्ट, इंश्योरेंस, वेयर हाउसिंग, जिनके बिना हम बिजनेस एक्टिविटीज़ को स्मूथली कैरी करने की कल्पना भी नहीं कर सकते। दैट मीन्स द रोल ऑफ सर्विस सेक्टर इन इंडियन इकोनॉमी इज़ ग्रोइंग एट अ वेरी फास्ट रेट। सर्विस का मतलब होता क्या है? Service is actually an outcome of economic activity as a result of interaction between the service provider and the consumer. Service actually provides satisfaction of wants. Services are intangible, and the purchase of service does not result in ownership of anything physical. These services can only be felt. That means service is nothing but it is an activity or process which is provided by the service provider and which is received and felt by the receiver of service. For example, the taxi owner is a service provider. Hiring charge paid to that taxi provider is the value of service received. Now let's see the features of services. Number one feature is intangible. Intangible का मतलब होता है something which cannot be seen or touched. That means the quality of services can be determined only after the consumer has received that service. That means services have to be created as per the needs of consumer so that the consumer can get a favorable experience of that service. For example, a teacher has to teach as per the understanding ability of the class. If students understand her or his lecture, the experience is good. Second is your inconsistency or lack of homogeneity. It says that there is no standard specification of service. Each time the service provider has to perform the service as per the demand and expectation of consumer. That means सर्विस प्रोवाइडर को अपनी सर्विस कंज्यूमर की एक्सपेक्टेशन के हिसाब से परफॉर्म करनी पड़ती है. That is why we say that service lacks consistency. तो एक अच्छा सर्विस प्रोवाइडर वो सर्विस प्रोवाइडर होता है जो कस्टमर के हिसाब से अपनी सर्विसेज को ऑल्टर कर पाए सो दैट दे कैन मीट द स्पेसिफिक रिक्वायरमेंट ऑफ ईच कस्टमर. Very good example I can give you. For example, a teacher can change her teaching strategies as per the demand of the syllabus or as per the demand of the learner. So this is what is your inconsistency. Third point is your inventory. It says that no service can be performed before its consumption date. That means we cannot maintain the stock of services. A service provider will provide service only when the consumer is going to ask for it. That means services cannot be stored for future use. गुड्स के जैसे हम सर्विसेज की इन्वेंट्री या स्टॉक मेंटेन नहीं कर सकते. जैसे कि आपने फ़्लाइट की टिकट बुक की, बट आप अपनी फ़्लाइट को कब इंजॉय कर सकते हैं? ओनली ऑन द डेट ऑफ फ्लाइट. That means one can prepare the air ticket, one can book for the air ticket before the travel date, but he or she can enjoy the flight only on the date of flight. Fourth point is your non-transferability or inseparability. This point says that the service provider and the consumer act simultaneously. दोनों जने, provider of service और consumer, दोनों साइमल्टेनियसली एक ही टाइम पर एक्ट करते हैं. इट मीन्स the production and the consumption of service take place at the same time. They are inseparable. That means we cannot separate the medical services provided by the doctor or the teaching task can only be done by the teacher and no one else. And last is your customer participation or involvement. This says that a customer is directly involved in the delivery process of service. That means he has the opportunity to get the service modified as per his or her requirement. Participation of customer is essential. For example, students need to be attentive while the individual problems of the students are being discussed in the remedial class. Right? And the other good examples given in your book, that is, telephone companies are providing you telephone services, but you have to use this service. The customer has to use the services by making or receiving the call. Now we come to the difference between goods and services. The first difference, intangible. Intangible means which cannot be touched or seen. Services are intangible. That means, for example, a chapter being taught by the teacher. But goods are tangible. एग्जाम्पल के तौर पे आप देखिए किताब जिसको आप टच कर सकते हैं. Second is your inventory. It says that services cannot be stored for future use. Example, your train journey. But goods can be stored for future use. For example, the stock of cars can be kept in the showroom. Third point is your inseparability. The services are consumed while they are being performed. जिस वक्त उन्हें परफॉर्म किया जा रहा है उसी वक्त उनका कंजप्शन हो रहा है. That is, does it means that it is impossible to separate the provider as well as the receiver. For example, if any teacher like teaching maths, that means while he is teaching the maths lesson, that service cannot be separated from the tutor. But in case of goods, the production and consumption can be separated from each other. That means, for example, the cars are manufactured in factories, but they can be purchased in the showrooms. Fourth point is your standardization. Services, they are difficult to be standardized. That means services have to be customized as per the needs of customers. हमें कस्टमर के हिसाब से सर्विस को ऑल्टर करना पड़ता है. बट गुड्स कैन बी स्टैंडर्डाइज्ड. फिफ्थ पॉइंट इज योर नेचर. सर्विस का मतलब क्या होता है? एनी एक्टिविटी और प्रोसेस. एग्जाम्पल के तौर पे एनी जर्नी बाय फ्लाइट. और गुड्स का मतलब होता है फिजिकल प्रोडक्ट. दैट मीन्स अ फ्लाइट टिकट. Sixth is your type. Services are heterogeneous. Heterogeneous means each service is different from each other. But goods are homogeneous. That means products are of same standards and specifications. And seventh point is your transfer of ownership. In case of service, ownership cannot be transferred as the consumer consumes the services while they are being performed. That means, for example, a doctor cannot transfer the treatment of a patient to another patient. But in case of goods, the consumer can transfer the title of goods to other person. For example, you can buy a book and gift it to your friend. I hope the comparison between the two is clear to everyone. Now we come to the types of services. सबसे पहली कैटेगरी आती है आपकी बिजनेस सर्विसेज. जो कि हम ऑलरेडी फर्स्ट चैप्टर से पढ़ते आ रहे हैं, वो सारी सर्विसेज जो आपकी बिजनेस एक्टिविटीज़ को स्मूथली कैरी करने में हेल्प करती हैं आर बिजनेस सर्विसेज. That means services provided to business enterprises for conducting the business in an effective and efficient manner are business services. जैसे कि बैंकिंग, ट्रांसपोर्टेशन, इंश्योरेंस, वेयर हाउसिंग, कम्युनिकेशन, ये सारी की सारी आपके आती हैं बिजनेस सर्विसेज में. सोशल सर्विसेज क्या होती हैं? वो सर्विसेज होती हैं जहाँ पर आपका मोटो प्रॉफिट कमाना नहीं है, बट यू आर थिंकिंग फॉर द वेलफेयर ऑफ सोसाइटी. That means these services are provided voluntarily, and here the main motto is to improve the standard of living for the weaker sections of society. That means the person providing the services does not need anything in return. Example के तौर पे, like various government and non-government agencies are providing educational facilities to the poor children in the slum areas. These are all included in types of social services. और आखिरी आपकी आती है पर्सनल सर्विसेज. पर्सनल सर्विसेज क्या होती हैं? वो सर्विसेज होती है which are actually provided to the individuals. That means ये सर्विसेज इंडिविजुअल की पर्सनल नीड्स के हिसाब से कस्टमाइज की जाती हैं. That means personal services are the services which are provided to the individuals and they are customized in accordance with the personal need of that individual. That means ये services कभी भी consistent नहीं रहती. They will differ upon the service provider as well as the need of consumer. जैसे कि कोई भी ट्रैवल एजेंट की सर्विस हुई, रेस्टोरेंट की सर्विस हुई, आप जिस तरीके के साथ डिमांड करेंगे वेटर से खाना, उस तरीके का आपका एक्सपीरियंस होगा. मे बी यू डिमांड फॉर अ माइल्ड स्पाइसी फूड और अ स्पाइसी फूड. तो एक जो कस्टमर का एक्सपीरियंस होगा, दैट विल डिपेंड अपॉन द टाइप ऑफ सर्विस विच इज़ प्रोवाइडेड बाय द सर्विस प्रोवाइडर और द सर्विसेज प्रोवाइडेड बाय द सर्वेंट्स एट होम. All these type of services come in the category of personal services. Thank you. That's all for today. If you have any queries, please comment.